I just wanted to say if you're listening to this whole program, you're saying, well, that's wonderful for influencers like Walter and Ken Walls, but for me and this subject doesn't apply to you. I'll tell you, I was in that position because I'm an attorney, and nobody ever told me when I went to law school that I was going to be a salesperson or any of this stuff. But what has become abundantly clear in the last couple of years is that people want to hear from me and people want to communicate with me. And so with the help of Walter and Ken Walls and the other coaches, Terry and Mitch, I have now gotten used to being online and doing things to become contagious. If you're sitting back saying this is for somebody else, you might want to take a second look at that, because this type of stuff is for everybody, no matter what business you're in, what you're trying to do. You're going to create some social currency if you get out there and talk. And even though my wife always says, oh, it's easy for you, it wasn't easy. I mean, it's, you get out there and you do it. And hopefully you jump in with some really good coaches like Walter and Ken, and they'll help you along the way. So that's what I got to say. Thanks.
Give Michael Shine a round of applause. Michael Shine's like on a whole bunch of podcasts now. He's just started so much. He's on TikTok. He's on Instagram. I saw his reels come up the other day. I texted him. I was like, Mike, damn. Like, you're all over the place. 2 years ago, I had to tell him, I was like, Mike, we need a picture of you on Facebook that is actually a picture of you. Right now, it's like a picture of your wife. He's just come so far. And, it's because he cares about serving. He cares about, making sure that people understand how to build wealth. And the hardest, like the biggest barrier to entry is that people don't know who to ask. And so that's what me and the other coaches have been working on, is making ourselves more available, making it easier. Now, if you do text me and ask me for a one-on-one call, I'm going to tell you no. Like, I just don't do one-on-one calls. But come to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. Come to the Wednesday calls. You've got access to us here on Saturday mornings. Instacamera, if that makes sense, you got to get your time right. You got to get efficient. If you've been in the mentorship, you got a different opportunity, because you and I have already chatted via text. You and I already you have my cell phone, so you can text me anytime. Instacamera, if that's cool value, that we still do that. Awesome. Excellent. Who put their hand up first? Was it Sandra or Damien?
So no, I just wanted to say something about, giving stuff for free. So I had like two areas where I actually just gave for free, and like magic just happened. So my deal that I'm working on with Georgia, it was just somebody in a group that found a deal that he thought he could do some creative financing with, subject to, and just needed some help. So, I'm like, yeah, I'll help you. And then we got on the phone, and then, he was talking about, hey, I think I want to wholesale this thing. And I'm like, you know what, let me just jump on the call with your seller. And I might even be a buyer for you, So I wound up just buying him the deal, buying the deal for myself, giving him a kind of a bird dog fee of not, a couple $1,000. That's one. And number two is somebody else was asking about help for creative finance and subject to. So I went on a seller appointment with her, right? It was 15 minutes from my house. The guy was like really receptive, but it didn't work out because his loan was 15 years, very high payment, in the negative cash flow for a couple of years. But anyways, built the relationship with her. Come to find out, she has over $350,000 cash sitting in the bank, and just needs help like investing it. So potentially she's going to be a lender like in the future for some deals. If I ever need cash and I stop doing the creative stuff and getting subject to, maybe I'll actually need cash. But still, it's like you build. It's crazy. Like, if you just help people answer questions, how receptive they are. And like, if you have like a good personality or people like working with you, they'll just come back to you with stuff like, hey, guess what? Look at my bank account. It has $350,000 in there. I didn't ask her that at all. She just offered that information up to me. We've went out to dinner a couple of times. She met my whole team. It was just that kind of relationship. So yeah, so I really believe in just, pushing it out there. And I think people know, Ron, for example, like today, I was just talking to him about stuff, just helping him out. Not Ron Bowling, Ron C. I mean, I don't think I've ever talked to him before today, but yeah, that's how it is. And that's all I have to say.
Well, I've seen you guys talk on Alchemist Nation. So I've seen it in the comments, in the posts, like you've definitely given some advice. Give Damien a round of applause. He's a millionaire and a mentor on Alchemist Nation. There's a lot of really good chats going on out there. And I see Damien jump in every so often, just helping people out. So huge resource. Go ahead, Sandra. I see some chats asking for Larry. Who knows Larry? Damien, what's Larry?
Steinhaus. Larry
Steinhaus.
Drawing a blank. So he and I actually spoke yesterday. So he and I jumped on a call. We spoke for like an hour, and he's actually going to create a course for Alchemist Nation called Investor Schooling. And it's like kind of just a basic course. Now he does sell other programs like all the other coaches, but he asked if he could jump on and share a little bit about miscommunication last week. It was a fun conversation. We chatted for about an hour. I got to learn about what he does. A super polarizing personality, for sure. When it comes to marketing message, totally polarizing. But yeah, when you get to have a conversation, he knows what he's talking about. So it was cool. It was I don't like to leave any bridge burned. If there's ever an opportunity to serve more people, build more millionaires, I'll give somebody a try, right? If they seem like they're willing to have that conversation. So it was cool. I was pleasantly shocked. Hands to camera, if you know, people will shock you. People will impress you. Sandra Scroy, go ahead.
I think the biggest thing that, Walter, you're talking about is keeping your standards high, because character and knowing about who yourself and who you are and what you have to offer and make sure that the people that you are offering it is, I think for a lot of people in this community, and the longer you're here, the more you take risks and you go out on a limb and you really go for your goals more courageously than you thought, and it builds a lot of character. So your standards grow, but with that, your integrity grows, your trust, your credibility, XYZ, whatever else you want to say. And so I think that's why when you say you're giving to people and that you want to make sure those people are qualified, it's because you're a fountain and you want collaborative fountains with you. So
let's give Sandra Scroy a round of applause. So there is a lot of stuff going on in your world. Share it. This is one of the things that we discovered is a huge value to motivating people. There's 900 members on Alchemist Nation, but only about 200 of them contribute. Only about 200 make posts, but they're all reading the posts. What we identified for motivation is somebody has to see somebody else be successful in order for them to believe it's possible for them. Share your success stories. Also share your questions, because with the questions, other people are seeing things that they were afraid to ask. And if you know, people don't ask questions because they're afraid to ask questions, even though they know the answers right there. It would be right there. Within an hour or two, we get to it. So be the one who's willing to go, even if you already know the answer, but you know it's a common question, be willing to go out and create that content. Be that person to say, hey, I want to hear somebody else's opinion on this. What do you think about this? Or if you just closed a flip, share your flip. If you just bought or acquired a piece of property, share your piece of property. If you have just lent your money with somebody and you're making a good return on investment, be willing to share those posts, like not just with one person, but put it out on Alchemist Nation so that other people can be inspired to believe it's possible for them all.